get to be the first on these bans and picks. What will they decide to ban this time?
I'm not entirely sure. They saw some scary champions coming out last game, so we might have some more targeted bans. There's the Lee Sin ban, going to get him out of there. Ryze as well. I would have thought they would have first picked Ryze, being the very, very strong champion that he is. But looks like they're just going to ban him, remove him from the game entirely. The Nami and Morgana bans coming out as well. We saw those at the beginning of last game too.
Yes,
So maybe some support wars there. Go on.
very, very targeted bans against the enemy champions. They saw Ryze and Lee Sin were both played, and they just said, nope, shutting you down, not even going to happen. So very interesting choices there, but we'll see how they pick. A Thresh Lucian insta-pick, though, from the enemy team. They did very well on that Thresh last time, and they now, I think they also had Lucian, did they not?
It was Caitlyn versus Tristana. They might have banned Lucian. Yeah, it was a Lucian
okay.
ban.
Yeah, there was a Lucian ban and they had a Caitlyn, but now it's going to be a Thresh Lucian, which I think is even stronger because of that relentless pursuit.
Yeah, I quite
Lucian.
like that, but
so
Corki
Lucian
is a...
scary.
We keep cutting each other off.
ahead.
Corki is a very, very powerful early game champion. A lot of burst on him. When he picks up that Sheen as well, he's going to have even more of that. Paired up with a Braum, I don't know if that's the best combination in lane because Corki, it's a little harder to proc the his passive, the concussive blows. But still very good champions from both sides. Braum's unbreakable, can soak up the death sentence as well.
Talk to me for a minute about Corki, because I've never been a big fan of him, especially when I'm playing solo queue ranked. I don't find him to be hyper effective. He's pretty good at wave clear with the phosphorus bomb, and he has the Gatling gun as well, so pretty good on wave clear. But it seems that Corki's, because they have such limited auto attack range, they really only rely on those bombs during team fights, and they only have 7 or so of them, and then they're out of mana, they're out of everything, and they aren't, I don't know, I don't feel that they're as effective as they could be. What is a good thing about a Corki?
He is quite a bursty champion and a pokey champion. He combines those two things. He doesn't much like getting into the fray for a very long time. Kind of like Jace. Jace goes in, he can throw down the damage from the far with his shock blast, but then he jumps in, with his to the skies, his Q, knocks him back, and then just backs out. And that's what Corki does as well. He throws down his Phosphorus Bomb, auto attacks for the Trinity Force proc. He's got those missiles he can shoot out from afar. He brings a lot to the table as far as poking, sieging, and AoE damage. As far as laning goes, if he can land those Phosphorus Bombs paired with those auto attacks afterwards, then yeah, he has quite a lot. He can throw down a lot of damage, but he can be shut down quite easily as well. He doesn't get that poke until level 6, so up until level 6, if you play smart, you can poke him down and ensure your lead over him.
Aparia, wow, so surprised. So we still have a last pick here from White. Is going to pick up that Jace again. They did decide to take Lulu themselves this time, but it's an entirely different team from Team RRHS. Like an entirely different setup. Not a single one of these champions were played last game. And they're going for a very tanky top lane with the Mundo. They're going for a very assassin-y Kha'Zix in the jungle. Another tanky member, Braum, in that support bottom lane. I don't know. It's very, very interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah, I think Lulu is a good pick here because it rounds out their team. They have a lot of offense and a good bit of mobility, but no front line, no mobility. They need someone with the shields and the wild growth to keep people alive because as far as Peel goes, they have Thresh, but that's pretty well it. Now on the blue side, we have the Kha'Zix jungle as well, which I feel is very, very strong. All throughout the game, he can build tanky, he can build full offense, and Mundo up in the top lane. So someone who's not going to die too easily, who's going to run into the team fights and just distract, zone, and throw down a bit of damage here and there. Also, quite decent at split pushing since he's so hard to take down. It usually takes like 2 or 3 members late game to deal with him. So I'm not sure who I'd give this to. Right now, I would say blue team has the better comp, but purple team can get one member very, very far ahead and just carry without a member.
Well, in these last couple of seconds here, I'm going to run through champions, and
Oh,
we'll
yeah.
continue that once we're actually in the loading screen. But Dust Cloud on the Lulu top lane for Team TWHS. Quirk with the Thresh in the bottom lane support. K3 Soju playing the Sejuani in the mid lane. Oh, I forgot about that 3-minute time delay. What am I even talking about? And Tax playing the Rengar jungle. And last but not least, White on the Lucian ADC for the bottom lane.
All right, my turn for these more difficult names. We have Actius on Zed with Exhaust. That's interesting. We'll talk about that later. In the mid lane, we have Finex playing AD carry Corki. We have Houndshell playing Braum in the support role. Blind Fury in the jungle once again on that Kha'Zix this time. And Korean Charizard in the top lane playing Dr. Mundo.
Sorry, I'm talking to people in my chat.
It's okay.
My Twitch alerts has completely died. Like every time that I try to open it and get it to work, it just doesn't want to. So unfortunately, I won't know when you guys decide to follow or donate if you say so. I think Bojorn actually donated, but it didn't go through because Twitch alerts has completely died. So I'm gonna have to reload or recreate that essentially. I'm probably gonna delete it and download it again. I think there was a patch to it that just freaked it out and is not working, unfortunately. But thank you, Bojorn, for your donation, because I'm pretty sure it did go through. I just didn't get the alert. And if any of you guys did did follow me and I just didn't know it, so that would be great for you to let me know, because I appreciate knowing when you guys followed me, and I didn't see that. So if you got any follows though, that's cool. Again, also go and follow Chronofrost, because Chronofrost is my Duocast partner and he's amazing as well. So you should totally go and follow him. So they have kill potential, resist, and CC is what Tarzanist says about blue team RRHS, which is a very different team than we saw last time. I don't know. I honestly like the fact that everything is so different. Last game, they pretty much got shut down in every lane regardless. No matter what, they all got shut down. Line Fury as well. Play that jungle Rammus and tried to go tanky but wasn't fast enough. And he got taken out so many times. I think he was 1-9-3 by the end of the game and just had such a hard time. Now he's playing more of the assassin champion, which I think is a good thing, because so many times TWHS was extremely low health. They all walked away with 200, 300 health, and they had nobody to do any cleanup on them. Now Line Fury can actually wait for the team fight to break out a little bit, allow Mundo and Braum to soak up the initial damage with the tank, and then sneak around behind them and clean up the Lulu, clean up the Lucian, clean up the Syndra after all of the fighting has kind of died down a little bit. So I don't know, I like it a lot. What do you think about this exhaust on the Zed against, I believe, yeah, it's going to be a Syndra in the mid lane, against a Syndra in the mid lane taking exhaust?
I think Ignite is generally stronger just because he needs it for his ultimate ability. For when he goes in, throws down the all-in, and then blinks back. He needs it so that the Death Mark can trigger with the full damage, taking them down. Now, Exhaust, I feel, will more be used for Rengar. Yes, it can stop the Syndra ultimate, her unleashed power. Well, not stop it, but cut its damage down quite a bit.
Decrease the damage on it.
It can cut that down. But I think Rengar's the bigger threat from that. So might be saving it for those team fights.
I think that's a huge thing there, is that Zed is, again, more of an assassin champion. He kind of gets in, gets a kill, and gets out. But in these team fights, he doesn't do as great. So taking exhaust for the team fights kind of says, I know that I'm more of a 1v1, 2v2 type champion, but I know that we're going to have these 5v5 team fights, so I want to be well at both. Let me take it. I know that I don't have quite as much kill potential with the Ignite, but I do have a lot of just team fight overall help potential with that exhaust. As well as they have the exhaust on Braum too. So not only can they exhaust Lucian, but they can also exhaust that Rengar. Or even, as you said, Syndra to decrease the damage of her ultimate. So I got to throw out here really fast. Thank you so much, Bojorn, for the $100 donation. That is amazing. I have to now update everything on my Twitch to say, you know, that he has like the top donation with a $100 donation. I wish I had been alerted on that. That is fantastic. I appreciate it so much. I'll take one RP giveaway for a follow button hit. let me actually move over on my Twitch to the in-game screen. There we go. Don't forget, Chronofrost, on yours to also make note of which team actually has the win versus loss, because somebody was asking that on
Oh
mine.
yeah,
Was
that's
who
quite
took
right.
game 1. So game 1 went to TWHS, and we have game 2 now, where RRHS is going to try and attempt to come back, and we'll see if they can do that. So, I was about to say, if Corky was AFK, that'd be terrible. We don't want like AFKs in these games.
Yeah, would not be ideal. All right, so I put a little 1 beside Thomas S. Wooten's team there. Let's
So
get
what
these.
about this Mundo Lulu top laning against each other? I don't see it very often. Usually a Lulu's picked into somebody that's a heavy early pusher that she can wave clear and kind of push them back. And Mundo's taken against people like a Malphite and Nasus, who kind of slow harasses with cleavers, but really is more looking at just tanking them out. So what do you think about Lulu Mundo lineup? Like, who's supposed to come out in the end?
I really don't think there's going to be much going on up there. Both of them have a lot of disengage, have a lot of ways of staying alive in critical situations. I don't think there's even going to be much jungle focus up there. I think they're just going to be farmed up and used for their utility in the late game. So,
looking more for...
I really don't see much. Oh, Foxy Gramps, man, 129 is now following.
Foxy Gramps is the manager for Ember Gaming, which is team River Ridge High School, which is trying to make their first win this game. We'll see if they can manage that. This is the best out of 3, so they do have to win 2 games if they want to take this. And I think they're in 2nd place for the league for this high school league for Riot, which is actually really cool. And they're looking for 1st place, but it may go for 1st place to team TWHS. But I'm going to go ahead and post a link in my chat for Foxy Grandpa's Twitch channel, where you can go and see how he does. He is the manager, though, for his team. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, being the manager for a league team.
Yeah, so getting into this game here, we
ahead.
don't see all that much going on. Lulu is Mundo's tower there. But really not all that much going on. In the bot lane, both teams are really, really scared of the other. Both these supports have a lot they can use for lockup and a lot of burst that can come down from these AD carries. Flash comes out from Braum there, trying to dodge the death sentence.
And he did. I mean, that was amazing. That was such a close-range death sentence. I did not think he was going to flash out. And what's happened before, and I've seen it happen, is if you're right next to somebody, he starts a death sentence, you flash it, but the death sentence still hits you at the other end of the flash. But he had to adjust an angle that he still did not get hooked by the death sentence. I don't know if that would have been death for him because he is Braum and he's really tanky early game, but that would have at least been a lot of free damage done by White on him. And now instead, Quirk's down to about half health there with that continued not only minion damage, but Phoenix as well, getting a little bit of damage on him. So a lot of these cookies being eaten by both of these supports as they're trying to get in a little bit of damage on the enemy team.
Yeah, as I was talking about, both these AD carries have so much burst early game, so they're kind of scared to engage. They don't want to overstep and have it turned around on them, have it capitalized on. So it could really go either way. I'm not going to say one team's in the lead because one misstep will result in a kill for either AD carry, so they got to be real careful. Lulu eating those cups up there in the top lane, the giant chalice from Mundo.
What we saw earlier was that Mundo was actually down in farm, and now he's brought it back up. Oh, it might be
he gonna get
blood.
this?
He's just got one more cleaver, but the minion damage too strong. Purple Kester minions take the first kill. Lulu will actually pick up the name on that one, and get first blood in the top lane. So incredibly close, though. I thought Mundo had her. I thought one more cleaver would have finished her off and would have gotten first blood.
So,
but he got scared and backed off. Cooldown on that cleaver still may have been up, may not have been. I'd have to go back and check that at some point. But that is going to be first blood over for purple team or red team. And Lulu actually picks up a triple Doran's Ring start. So she's looking to have a lot of extra health, a lot of mana regen. All that stacks, right? I think it stacks.
Yeah, it does. I don't believe there's any unique passives on those. No. So all those stacks. She's going to get the mana regen every time she kills. Every time she kills a minion, she's going to gain 9 mana.
Oh, so that is huge. Changed. Yeah, on killing a unit. That's new. I forgot that. So restores 4 mana upon killing a unit. No, you mean 12 mana?
Oh, it's 4?
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
4
right.
mana
Okay,
upon killing
all
a
right.
unit. So it's 12 mana every time she kills. And she is not going to run out of mana anytime soon. And she has plenty of health to spare with it. 300 extra health. Oh, no, it's 60. They dropped the health down on it. They did. They did a bunch of different changes to the Doran's Ring. So that's 180 extra health. But also has 30 ability power. And now 9 mana regen in 5 seconds. That's ridiculous. Man, I should triple Doran's Ring start more often. Lion
Health
Fury,
is also
oh, go ahead.
health is also really good on her compared to the compared to magic resist, because Mundo is a lot of magic damage, but she doesn't want to build too hard in magic resist because Mundo is not the biggest threat on their team. The Kha'Zix, the Zed, and the Corki all do a crazy amount of physical damage, and she wants to build armor for some of that. Meanwhile, Zed in mid lane taking a bit of damage. The Bola comes out from Rengar, trapping him in place. He's getting quite low, but going to heal up off of those potions. Syndra's out of mana, looking to recall there. She is sitting on 1,200 gold, so we'll see what she picks up with that.
The scary
I
thing
imagine.
is that Rengar did all of that damage, knocked Zed down to probably about a third of his health, and he didn't even have his ultimate. He literally just walked up to Zed and started beating the crap out of him, especially with the helpful snare with that Bola, as you said. Earlier in the game, Kha'Zix was down in that bottom lane looking for an engage, but he actually was standing on a ward. So then red team just backed off, said, "Hey, we'll just wait you out," and Kha'Zix had to recall. So no team going for Dragon just yet. Only 1 kill over. However, that being said, they are that 5k gold, about 6k gold in the lead, but blue team's still strong and coming back. One at a time, little by little, they're picking up a little bit of extra gold here, a little extra gold there. Zed is out farming Syndra in the mid lane. Corki out farming Lucian in the bottom lane by about 20 farm now. And Mundo, even though he is down in farm at the moment in that top lane, always seems to kind of come back. He always kind of re-farms underneath that tower and does really, really well. I think the mix of the auto attacks and the cleaver helps him pick up all of his farm underneath the tower. So I wouldn't farm that well underneath the tower, but yeah.
When it comes to that top lane matchup, the early game CS really doesn't mean that much. It's how well those top lane champions use that to get their team ahead, to take these objectives. Whichever one teleports into a team fight first to help them win it, then the CS is irrelevant at that point. So we see Lulu still does have firm control of this lane. There was a CS lead, but as I said, not that important right now. Zed clawing his way back into the mid lane, picked up that Brutalizer as well, but the Secret's Arm Guard from Syndra suggests that she's going to be rushing that Zhonya's, which is ever so effective against that Death Mark.
Early Zhonya's.
Yeah. Bottom lane here, both marksmen still have their potions.
Oh, wow,
And both sitting on... Lucian has 1,700 gold, Corki has 1,900. Both have enough for their BF swords or whatever they're going to get. We do have a pause here. We'll wait till they get some situation
White
sorted out.
disconnected, so they're going to wait for him to come back into the game. I was going to comment on the fact that both bottom lane, or neither bottom lane, has actually recalled just yet. Corki sitting on 1,900 gold, and Lucian at 1,700 gold, as well as both supports over 1,000 gold. So when they do back, they are going to have a lot of gold to spend to get some really big items. Sight stones probably for both of these supports, as well as BF swords on both of the ADs. But Corki's taken a little bit of a lead, so whatever they do buy, Corki will get a little bit more than Lucian, even if it's just a couple extra potions. So I think it's going to take a jungler coming down here, though, to really force one of these teams to back. Because they both kind of like where they're at. Yeah, Lucian's down 10 farm, but it's not horrific. And they kind of just going to keep chilling and farming and chilling and farming. And I think a jungler gank's really going to be the defining moment down here to decide which team backs first.
Yeah, and either jungler can accomplish that very, very well. Both of them have that stealth aspect that they can use to sneak into lane, to jump onto their target, and to rip them. We actually have a Rengar versus a Kha'Zix.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really excited to see the, what is it called? The hunt is on.
I think that happens if both teams get to 18.
It's if Kha'Zix gets to 16, and Rengar has at least 10 stacks.
Okay. Well, he's going to have to kill a lot of people to get to 10 stacks.
Yeah.
Because he's got a ways to go on that one. He's only...
But if that happens, I'll be super excited to see that battle going on.
Okay, so we are unpaused. Huzzah. We're back into that.
All right. So, again, not all that much damage coming out in the spot lane. Both teams have, they just really need to go back and pick up those items. We'll see what Corki picks up. I'm actually really...
Again, they just went ahead and backed. I was just talking about how, you know, it's going to take a jungler coming down there to come force them to back, and they just decided immediately back afterwards, so... whatever.
I'm really excited to see what Corki picks up, and he actually opts for the BF sword. So it looks like he will be going for that Infinity Edge first. A lot of Corkis I see go Trinity Force, but this one is going Infinity Edge. I like that quite a lot. And Lucian opting to do the same thing.
You're right, the only difference between these two is the fact that because Corki has 3 extra farm, and I think a little bit overall more gold, he was able to pick up a Vision Ward as well. So having that extra Vision Ward in the bottom lane, say that Braum puts his down and it gets taken out by Thresh, they now have a second one to put down. Corki going ahead and putting it in that tri-bush right by Dragon. So they're going to have some pretty good vision in there as long as Thresh doesn't immediately jump in there. Sometimes what I actually do is wait for the enemy to come back into lane, check that bush to see if the pink ward's down, and then back off. Then I'll go over and drop the pink ward at it. You know, just they could check my inventory, but often in certain levels they don't actually check the inventory. Dust Cloud being taken down a little bit. Korean Charizard taking minions. Those purple casters are back on him. We'll see that happens. In the bottom lane, White being very low health. Braum flashing and trying to help engage. Lion Fury as well, sticking to him. He is dashing all over the place, but unable to get out. And now Korean Charizard running back and forth between these bushes. Can he avoid them long enough? No, he eventually does go down. So kill for kill. Top lane for bottom lane ADC. And Thresh throwing out Death Sentence.
Oh, wow!
Might be enough to flay, but he's gonna Valkyrie out. And now Tax doing very low. Oh, not quite gonna leap on to Houndshell. And Dust Cloud teleporting in, trying to help out as well. Mundo's dead, so his teleport's not there. Rengar gonna flash in for the kill on Braum and take him out. Another Death Sentence on a Phoenix, but now in the mid lane, RRHS coming down here. Death Sentence should be in, no, Death Mark, sorry, for the Lulu. And now Lion Fury chasing in, but it's gonna be a double kill over to Actius. Gonna pick up a second kill down there. So what was that total? Let's see, 1.
That was so crazy. I have no idea who came out ahead there. But we are 3-3. Teams are even. Like 500 gold separates these two teams, and so many members were active in that fight. We saw Lulu teleport down from the top lane. We had both mid laners roam down as well, and they were just coming in waves. Like, oh, here's 2 members from this team. Here's 2 members from this team. Oh, here's the jungler. Here's the other jungler, and
it was
everyone.
2 for 3. Team RRHS came out in the lead with 3 kills versus the 2 kills that TW picked up. And the mid laner of Syndra wasn't actually part of that fight at all. And I think if she was, it would have hugely gone in the favor because of her range and early game damage. Hugely gone in the favor of TWHS. But the fact was that she didn't roam quite fast enough and didn't get down there. And by the time you saw her recalling about the Pixel Bush by Dragon, she was on her way there and didn't make it. You know, Zed moves a little bit faster than she does. He's going to go in, though, on Coach. Joe, go ahead and take this one. Sorry.
A lot of members coming in here. Ignite is down onto Kha'Zix as well. Is he going to make it out? Looks like he does. Ignite isn't going to be enough to take him down. But Red Team looking to try to take down this Dragon. Will they be able to do it, though? They do see them all on the sidelines there. Blue Team does have vision on this Dragon. Will they be able to get in for the steal? Rengar getting taken mighty low. Kha'Zix does jump over the wall and steal it. Fantastic work. Everyone's just being shredded apart from the AoE damage from Corki. The Glacial Fissure does not land onto anyone. Syndra is being chased, but she's out of mana. She's not going to be able to make it out of this. Blade of the Rune King goes down, slowing her down as well. And that was a 3-for-1 and Dragon for River Ridge.
For the favor of River Ridge.
We might see this go to a 3rd game. I know I'm saying that preemptively. We are still very early in, but they're taking the lead. That was a huge swing. Yeah. Both these teams were even before that, but now River Ridge has a substantial lead, going to take a tower off of this as well. This is just fantastic for them. They are playing this game very, very well.
Got the Dragon, picked up 2 kills. They lost Kha'Zix to the Ignite. It did actually take him down. But they still, that Kha'Zix steal on the Dragon was mightily impressive. Korean Charizard using the Mundo ultimate, trying to keep himself alive. Can he do that? Lulu's just continuing to pour out so much damage. Glitterland's taking him down little by little as he regens it up, just trying to keep this farm off the tower. Down to 65 farm to 96 on Lulu. But she's going AP Lulu, not tank. Which
no,
means...
I like what she's doing here, though, because she has that Fiendish Codex. She's not building an Athenians. You'd think that, but she's not. She's getting a Morellonomicon, because she wants to cut their healing in half. Mundo heals so much, so putting those grievous wounds on him, along with Zed with that Blade of the Ruined King, Corki with the lifesteal he's going to build, even Kha'Zix. None of them are going to be able to heal anymore. Actius caught out though, death sentence! Stealing the final hit.
Makes it out, but death sentence.
I say sealing, but I mean securing.
There you go, there you go. Lion Fury coming here towards the mid lane just to try to help defend the tower. Oh, Death Sentence is going to find him as well. A nice enough to scatter of the weak, and he may be dead. He does. It goes down. Too much CC here from TW, and Phoenix finally shows up to help out, but it's kind of a one-man feeding trough. Each member of RRHS coming here one at a time. Rengar is now running through the jungle, looking for the blue buff on blue team's side. Should be able to get it, no problem. I don't know how he did that jump over the wall there. You saw it in the mini-map, but Quirk taking a little bit of damage as Braum finds him out, but this may be the tower going over to red team, as it's just Lucian and all these purple caster minions down that bottom lane being able to take it out. Yep, they get another tower as well. Second tower of the game, and Rengar did make it out with the blue buff.
Another great death sentence from Thresh. The box going down as well. Exhaust onto Corki. Tries to Valkyrie out, but the Dark Sphere takes him down. They're still chasing onto this, onto the tower. Will this be a little too much, though? Tower still beating on them down. Glacial Fissure comes out. Another death sentence lands onto Lion Fury there. Wild Growth coming onto Lulu, keeping everyone alive. He gets polymorphed, and the last little auto attacks from Pix going to take him down. Mundo here, though, but he is quite tanky. I don't know if he's going to be able to take anyone down from here as well, but this is not the damage. Zed's flanking from the sidelines, though. Scout of the Week stunning him into place, and they're going to take the Dark Passage to safety, get out of that one. And blue team here, River Ridge, is slipping up. They've lost their lead.
Yeah, that was a great Dark Passage from Thresh. You thought that they were going to be able to at least catch one person out. Mundo with great opportunities for continuing to throw those cleavers. Not going to land, though. And now, actually, it's very low health. There's the calling from White. Will it be enough to take somebody down? That Braum is super low health. There's the teleport in. I think it was actually canceled by Lulu. I think she saw the fact that there are now 4 members of blue team, and when you teleport in, there is just a second in which the enemy team gets to respawn a hair faster than you. Scatter League again onto Phoenix. There's the ult consider as well. Uses the heal. Ignite's ticking away. Gonna be enough to take him down as well. They also got the tower, but now White, very low health. There's his heal pops. Korean Charizard trying to take a little bit of damage. Backing off. Not gonna be enough. The back and forth CC from the enemy team so strong. Rengar leaping in. Tax gonna pick up a kill on Kha'Zix. Exhaust down on him as well. There's Zed trying to get a kill. Will be enough. The Zed sends Thresh. Too much, gonna take him down as well. Flash from Cinder over the wall. She lives. Double kill onto Braum. Rengar picking up both the Zed and the Braum. So incredibly strong. I don't know. It's like red team.
That was a beautiful display of team there. Rengar went all in, and red team said, you know what? He's going in. We got to follow as well. If one goes in, we all go in. And that's just what they did, and it worked extremely well. No one ended up dying from that one. 6-13 in kills now. There is a 7,000 gold lead for team Thomas S. I gotta make this bigger so I can actually see. Thomas Wooten High. That's what I'll say. Thomas Wooten.
But I was gonna comment on was the fact that only 4 minutes ago were the teams completely even, and in one fatal mistake with the team fight in the mid lane then led to RRHS overextending by a little bit, getting caught out when backing, and then these continual perfect engages. The Scatter of the Weak from Syndra doing so much damage, but not only the stun, it allows the stun to set up for a perfect then death sentence from Thresh to guarantee enough CC to get somebody killed. Only Mundo is the champion on blue team that can actually survive a Scatter of the Weak and death sentence with all the follow-up damage from the enemy team. And the Lucian's really coming out big here. Rengar leaping in. Lion Fury may go down here. He's going to turn invisible and try to get himself out. There's the invisible again, but they know he's sitting there snared with that bola from Rengar. So they're going to take him out as well. The death sentence from Quirk always on par. I would not be surprised if Thresh got banned in this next game, because he just continues. He was one of the reasons the last game why they did so well. But actually, if this team wins, then they're not going to go into a third game, so there'd be no reason to ban the Thresh.
That's quite right. But no, his death sentence have been on point this game. They have all been beautiful. I believe that's what brought them from that middle ground to actually claiming the lead once again. So Thresh doing a fantastic job there. Looks like they are taking this dragon down. No one's going to be able to contest that. Corki quite low as well, just from the Lulu poke.
They did lose the dragon last fight because of the Kazakh's Smite Steal stole it away. So great job there from Line Fury last fight, but no one near position for blue team to be able to grab it this time. So they are going to engage down here in this bottom lane. Death Sentence not going to land on anyone. Braum just leaping to an ally to keep both of them alive. Will they get this tower? Will they decide to siege it? They do have plenty of damage from the Syndra and Lucian. I think they could siege this tower.
Yeah, I definitely think so. They are in the lead, and they are using it to its full potential. We see Thresh clearing out these wards here with that pink, wanting to maintain vision control. Looks like they are going all the way in, but the Unbreakable keeping Zed alive. He's not going to fall down. The fight just going crazy over here, but wow, the AoE damage from both sides. It looks like red team are going to win this, but just barely. Deathmark coming in from Zed. Is it going to be enough to take Rengar down? Yes, it is. They trade 1 for 1, but that was the only casualty. Everyone got so low, but they weren't able to finish anyone off.
I think the fact it was a 4v5, Kazakhs in the top lane has been pushing in, might be able to grab that tower.
Quite right.
If he was in the bottom lane, he could have cleaned up 3 kills. I think he wanted the top lane tower, but he should have immediately backed. If he had immediately backed with home guard boost, he would have been there to grab the Lucian, grab the Syndra, and potentially grab Lulu as well. Because he is the cleanup master of them all. He gets the resets on the jumps and does so much burst damage. White would be nothing right now for Kazakhs to clean up, and he wasn't there. And he still didn't get the top lane tower either, which is
quite right.
Honestly a huge mistake in my opinion.
He should have been there for sure. He isn't even level 11 yet. He only has 1 skill upgraded, but it is his wings. So he upgraded that, assuming he'd need to be there for the team fights to get the resets, and that wasn't what he was doing. Everyone was so low there, he could have hopped around and he could have quadraed that whole team there, but instead decided to push top and didn't even get a tower off of it. So maybe not the best decision there, but we'll see if they might be able to turn anything around. Wild Growth coming in from Lulu. She might be caught out here, though. Dust Cloud going to flash over the wall. Teammates are here to help back them up. Dark Passage going to get her back into the fray. Now that the team has arrived, the box coming down. The Unleashed Power from Syndra. Oh, but there comes the Death Mark and the Exhaust onto her. Not going to be enough to take her down, though. Great AoE damage from Corki coming in again, though. Line Fury having to dash out the back. Glacial Fissure. Or, sorry, not Glacial Fissure. Braum's Q. I wish his Q were his ultimate.
That would be nice.
Probably be banned every game after that, though.
Such siege power. Red team slowly picking that tower off. Don't have minions, so they're going to back off a little bit. But I love Tax on the Rengar off to the sidelines, making sure that there's no one coming around from the backline. He knew that Kazakhs was wanting to jump in on the squishier members, so he sat back there waiting for Kazakhs to show up. And as soon as he did, he just burst Kazakhs down to half health. The other thing that I loved there was the synergy between the team. The Scatter the Weak from Syndra was unparalleled. Oh, they're going to go in again on the line. Fury instantly take him out. No vision here. And now Hound Shell, very low health, going to be just put a barrel roll. Tax coming in here, just walking through 1-2. Death Sentence on the Korean Charizard going to be taken out as well. So that's 3 champions down. Zed and Corki, the only 2 left alive. They're not even going to worry about grabbing the tower. They're going to head straight for Baron.
Yeah, I feel this is the right call, too.
Earlier was that the Scatter the Weak from Syndra, amazing on Zed. Thresh could have Death Sentenced him, but there really was no need, so instead he Death Sentenced Braum and said, Braum, get over here, we're going to do more damage. I think it was Mundo, actually. Mundo, get over here, we're going to do more damage to you. So the fact that they continue to go back and forth, and Lulu dodging that last burst from Baron, it's off the bat. Look at how many wards as well on blue team's blue buff side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 normal wards and a pink ward as well. Such vision, much wow.
All right. Thank you to Pooza for the follow.
Pooza!
Glad to... Yep, another follow. That is fantastic. So now we see a fully baroned up red team here. Thomas Wooten. I will get that name right. And looks like they're just going to push straight down mid. Mundo is up in that top lane. Zed is in that bottom lane. Actually, they're going to have to send someone to deal with him. Because right now, trading towers like this, I think that is what they want. They're so far behind, they can't team fight. They're going to have to try and do some sneaky split pushing action. Meanwhile, Mundo caught out in this top lane here. Thresh just keeping him in place with those death sentences, with those flays, while Lucian's trying to beat him down, but he's healing up so much, just bouncing from bush to bush.
He almost
does get taken down, finally. But Rengar going in here with the wild growth on him, just insane, popping that U-Moose for the extra bit of movement speed there. Kha'Zix does manage to get out alive with that with the flash.
Doesn't U-Moose also grant you extra attack speed, I believe?
It does grant you attack speed, but
yeah, so
movement speed really what he gets.
Braum here, HSL should go out. The recall from Rengar saying, I know you're dead, no worries there. He does have the advantage of having those leaps from the bushes. Oh, he doesn't get that one though. Will he get this one? Braum's pretty speedy. Because Braum turned to throw last Q, he wasn't, or he was slow, he stopped moving. So Rengar got the jump. I think he should have just kept walking there. But obviously, very strongly in the hands of Team TSHS. 26 kills to 7, a solid 17,000 gold in the lead. And Baron buff is ticking on them. A number of the members haven't even backed after getting Baron buff. They're all just going to be continuing to push in, whittling away at the enemy team. Zed and Braum combined in that bottom lane, didn't get the tower. There's the flash from Syndra, says, hey, Kha'Zix, you are dead. And now they're going to catch Zed as well. Oh, he tries to ult onto the Syndra, but she's just going to Zhonya's out of that one. Tax is well done to half health here, but not even caring. They had the minion wave to be able to take out this tower, and that might be the end of the game. All 5 members of Red Team up and continuing to beat away at Blue Team's base.
Another death sentence landing from Thresh there. These skill shots, he has perfected. Lucian going in with the culling. I don't think they're going to be able to take out Mundo. He's just going to run into the base, but it doesn't really matter at this point. They're going to take down these towers, and Team Thomas Wooten is going to take this series 2-0 and take their place at the top of the tournament. A lot of damage coming out, but there's the game.
Syndra picked up a last kill on Zed, and Kha'Zix finished off Rengar one more time. He's like, I gotta make my KDA just a little bit better. And actually, that was his first kill of the game. 1, 7, and 4. So, hey, Lion Fury picked up a kill. That was great. But his smite steal on Dragon, total beauty right there.
Yeah, that was fantastic. At that point, after that fight, I thought, you know what? They can take the game from here. That was fantastic. But Purple Team ended up turning that around and did a fantastic job doing so. So, overall, great decision making from them. Great playstyle, great mechanics.
So let's do MVPs here real quick.
Alrighty.
As this was a 2-game win by TWHS. For the losing team, let me go ahead here. Blah blah blah. We do MVPs, but MVPs is a lot more based on how well the person played their champion than whether they got the most kills. So it'd be easy to say, oh, Zed got most kills, so obviously he wins it. But I think, who am I going to give MVP to? I might give it to Corki, actually, because Corki died the least number of times, and when playing against master tier players in the bottom lane, not only out-farmed the enemy Lucian, but also did really well up until those teamfights broke out. I was very impressed, as well as Braum's not necessarily the perfect engaging champion. Like, he's good to engage with because of that passive, but I don't think that he's necessarily the champion that you want if you're looking for a kill lane. And he still came out with 2 kills, 5 assists. I don't know. I liked Phoenix overall. Safe but secure play style. He almost had the most farm out of all of the champions on his team and was up there as well with all of the enemy teams, CS, even towards the very end of the game. And this is such a huge lead for Red Team. He still was only 10 CS underneath Lucian, which is a big deal. So I don't know. Phoenix for MVP for me.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there completely. You touched on everything. He did a fantastic job in the early game, even transitioning into the mid game. He had the CS lead. He was playing his champion beautifully, throwing down the AoE damage in those team fights that they were just, I hate to say it, but they got slaughtered in a lot of those team fights. Corki was the great AoE damage that brought them down to, he brought every member down to like half health in those fights. With his AoE damage, he just played his champion very well. So MVP for Blue Team going over to Finex on Corki.
What do you think about for the winning team? Who would you say took MVP? It's hard to say, especially when a team does so incredibly well.
I know. Everyone played beautifully. They were all on point. They were all listening to each other and reacting very decisively, which is what I like to see the most from a team. So at this point, I would give it to either Rengar or Thresh. Now, Thresh, just because he played his champion perfectly. He was the one who just kept them in place. Enemies running away, death sentence, pull them in, throw down the box, keep them there. The 99% slow, they flash away, he flays them back. He did a great job on that champion there. 1-2-21 score. That is probably that's almost the perfect support score right there.
I would throw in
But
there that also. Oh, go ahead. You had something else to say? Go ahead.
I was going to move on to Rengar, but go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna throw in there that the Syndra choice, though, the Syndra's extremely far-range Scatter of the Weak set up a lot of those death sentence for Thresh. Now, true, all of his death sentence were beyond par. They were just incredibly gorgeous from beginning of the game to the end of the game, and we even saw them in last game as well. They were always amazing. But Syndra's play as well did set up a lot of those hooks. So for me personally, I would give it to Syndra. But what were you gonna say about Rengar?
I was going to say how much damage his champion was capable of. He knew when to jump in and he knew when to follow up. You notice that a recurring theme from him was if an enemy member gets picked off, gets taken down, that is Rengar's green light. That is where he says, you know what, I'm going to flash into this, I'm going to activate my Yumus, I'm going to jump on to the closest target and burst them down. Someone got taken out, we have a number advantage, time to go ham. And that's what he did every single fight, and it worked out very, very well.
I think
But
Thrill of the Hunt may have actually happened. Or no, what is the Rengar versus Kha'Zix thing?
it is Thrill of the Hunt, but I'm pretty sure Cossacks has to be level 16.
Oh, he didn't get level 16. That's why I didn't have. Okay. I wondered, but go ahead.
So yeah, between the two of them, it's close, but I'm going to have to give it to Thresh. Those death sentences were they were just too fantastic. And there were very few missed ones. Every one that I saw that he threw out, he landed. And they were all very critical. As I said, after that dragon fight where they lost the dragon, they lost the team fights, the field was even, but after a couple picks from those death sentences, they were able to claw their way back and extend their lead past anything I thought possible. So great job from Thresh there.
It was a beautiful, beautiful game. I thought for a moment there, it seemed like RRHS may come back and have won it. It was pretty close. But then TWHS just put the pedal to the metal and said, no, we're going to stop this right now. We're going to turn this game and win it. So Snowdev actually says, The Hunt is On is the name of that mini quest that happens when Kha'Zix is level 16 and Rengar has 10 stacks on his Bone Tooth necklace. So...
Yeah.
Great.
I actually might have said Thrill of the Hunt. That's his ultimate, but
yeah, that's where I was kind of confused. I was like, I thought, it looked like Thrill of the Hunt.